Hi guys, okay, so I last minute decided to make this video because I feel like it's important to, I don't know, just do like a brief short summary. This is going to be more like a bullet point kind of video where I'm basically wrapping up the most important things that I've learned metaphysically, either in the past year, in the past 2 years, especially in the past couple months. I've learned so much, and it's something that needs to be shared. I mean, I feel like a lot of people won't watch like every single video of mine, but if you do, I would say watch this one. This one is going to hold a lot of high vibrations, and it's going to hold a lot of knowledge that a lot of people don't know about and are not aware of, and it needs to be known. And I believe that when someone learns spiritual knowledge, you have to be able to you have to like make yourself share it. You have to share it to others. Like, you can't just hold it in. It's something that must be shared and needs to be shared. There's a reason why you learned it, and you learned it at the right time. And I think we should just get into it. Okay, so I wrote it down in my notes again. I didn't really want it to sound like I'm reading off of just reading in general, because obviously my voice sounds different when I'm reading. I wanted it to just like flow freely, but sometimes I feel like I'm gonna forget like the details that I want to include, which is why I write it down in my notes. And so my intention with this video is for you to have so much more knowledge that you didn't even know about, and hopefully it resonates with you. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's completely fine. Then it's not your truth, and you can just ignore it and just steer away from it if none of this rings true. But I'm hoping, not hoping, but I'm sure something in this video will resonate with you, if not everything. Or at least you can start questioning a lot of things in your reality, or start questioning just the information that I give you in this video. So it's not in a particular order, it's just going to be all over the place, but I'm going to just get into it. So we all come from one source, which people would define as God. And even if you're the most low vibrational being, like think of something that's like super bad or like evil or whatever, you're still from source, because everything is an extension of source energy, as Abraham Hicks would say. But I personally don't believe source is an old man in the sky in heaven. I feel like that's something we all believe because we've been told to believe that. And this is kind of my point in making this video. Like, do you ever actually question the things that you're taught since you were little? Or do you just do it because that's what you were taught? Like, people need to have more free thinking skills, honestly, and question everything that they've learned and everything that they know or think that they know, and actually be like, does this sound right? Does this sound true to me? I feel like that's very important, because then you actually can make your own decisions off of what you believe in and not what others believe in, which is very important, because you do not want to be a sheep. You do not want to be someone who is just doing what everyone else is doing because it's like the right thing to do, like the socially acceptable thing to do, right? Like, a lot of people are going to think I'm crazy. A lot of people are going to think that I am giving people false information. But like I said in the beginning, if it doesn't ring true to you, then don't watch it. Then that's your truth, right? Everyone has a different truth. There's not, to an extent, there is like one truth of everything, but I kind of feel like me explaining everything in my notes will kind of help explain what I mean by that in a little bit. Like, everyone will have a different truth, but there is also kind of like one whole truth, if that makes sense. So I believe source could appear that way to you, like an old man in the sky, if that's how you choose for him to appear to you. But I believe source is either in the center of the universe, or the center of the multiverse, or really just everything, like the embodiment of everything, like every single thing, like what everything is made up of is source. But like, I know that, but I feel like if you wanted to do like a physical location for source, if it's not everything, that I feel like it's like a sun, or like a giant ball of white light energy that's like a sun. A lot of people have called it the Great Central Sun. And yeah, I mean, just believe whatever you want, but I'm just here to open your mind, okay? And also, I believe heaven is a dimension of its own, but it's not the heaven that we've been taught about, with just like clouds and angels and trumpets and, you know, like golden gates and stuff like that. I believe heaven as we know it can be created after we die, because when we die, we experience right after what we believe we will experience. So like if you believe that you're not forgiven for any you would say like bad things that you've done or whatever, or if you hold guilt in your life or in your being, you're going to experience the, I guess you would say, the punishment of that. But it's not created by God, it's created by you, because you feel so bad for doing the things that you did, and that's just like the way that it's going to be paid off by you experiencing like a punishment, like a way to, you know, just do your time, I guess you would say. Do your time for what you did. And if you believe that you're going to go straight to heaven, then that's what you're going to experience right after you die. And the thing is, you can stay in that like realm or reality, whatever it is. I'm not sure how to explain that, but you can stay in there for as long as you'd like. But then that's just one phase after death. You are most likely going to return back to source right after for your soul to rest, because it's been through the wheel of incarnation. Or you are going to speak with your council members that are basically monitoring you all the time when you're in your day-to-day life here on Earth and any other incarnation. And you are going to speak with them, and they're going to discuss with you like which incarnation would be best to go to next. If you're ready for it, if your soul is ready for it. If not, then you'll go back to source to just rest and recuperate. And in the past life regressions, everyone says that that feeling of source is just oneness and loving, and they just like burst out into tears, and we just know it's like for sure like true. Like there's no way it's not true. So if you were now this is a different topic. I'm going to be going back and forth from different topics, so in case it gets confusing, just so you know. Okay, so if you were like, let's say a whale or a dolphin, any sea creature, maybe even like a siren or a mermaid, right? In a past life or past lives, because you could be it twice or more than one or more than twice. So I believe that sometimes those traits will get passed down to other lifetimes, meaning this will explain why, for example, someone who loves like going to the beach or surfing every day or whatever, like ocean related, it'll explain why they're so drawn to it. This doesn't just go for planet Earth though. This goes for any other planet in the multiverse that has bodies of water, okay? So I don't want you just thinking that it's just memories of Earth. Also, the pyramids in Egypt, and I believe this goes for all the other pyramids as well, that were built like in ancient times. The pyramids were built with anti-gravity technology, and they were built from the top down. They were not built the way that history says they were. There is just no way that that happened. And it's funny that I say that, because people are going to be like, how do you believe that they're built with anti-gravity, but that there's no way they're built through like slave labor? But that's just my belief. So you can have your own belief too. Okay. So the Bible was written by the Nephilim or the Anunnaki, They basically mean the same beings, for the purpose to control humans through fear so that we would worship them and basically be like dumb numbskulls, honestly. We were created as slaves for them to do their work they got tired of doing, which was mining gold for their planet Nibiru to restore its oxygen, which was being depleted. Everything in Revelations in the Bible was for the Tower of Babel, or Babel, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, and Babylon. Thousands of years ago, and no longer applies today. That is sealed in the Akashic Records. When something is sealed in the Akashic Records, it means it has happened, it is done, it is not like a lingering, I guess you would say like event or timeline happening. It's done, it happened, it cannot be changed or rewritten. So anything in Revelations does not apply today. All those people that are saying there's prophecies for the end of the world and all these like scary things are completely not true. They're just there to instill fear in you. Honestly, they themselves probably don't even know the truth of it, and they're just a sheep as well. And they're just basically repeating what they think they know is true, which is not. Okay, and also psychics and fortune tellers will not be accurate about their predictions for future events because we've entered into the photon belt, and right now we're at the age of Aquarius in the like sphere of the photon belt, which is finally allowing massive awakening to take place worldwide. And because of that, the timelines keep changing so much. So given that, the future of the planet and the human race is all in the hands of us as a collective consciousness. Being in the photon belt now is allowing so much more light / knowledge to come in, which is allowing a lot more people to awaken to the truth of everything. There are people in our reality that are not real. Sorry. They are known as the backdrop people. They exist as more of a holographic nature than we are. Yes, we're all holograms, but these backdrop people, I believe, are more of like a filler. Kind of like when movies have extras, they're just there to fill space. And these backdrop people, I believe they don't have souls or contracts like we think. They're merely projections created by Source to fill space, which honestly I think is unfair because there's trillions of souls in line to come to Earth, because all these souls want to be a part of the dimensional shift. They all want to see that. They all want to experience and be there and have it as an experience to tell all their other galactic and multidimensional friends and family or whatever that they were a part of the great ascension, or whatever you want to call it, the ascension from like one dimension to another collectively, which is something that I believe has not happened in this universe, but other universes, yes, as in this big of a number in total, I mean. So the backdrop people are also only as real as you make them, and you couldn't tell the difference between a real person or a backdrop being. And you also could make a backdrop being be very real by, just like living, not living with them, but like spending time with them day to day and stuff like that. You could have a friend that's a backdrop being and you don't even know it. Okay, let's see. Okay, also, at this point, come on, reincarnation is very real. Honestly, before reading Dolores Cannon's books this year, 2020, before reading her books, I was kind of iffy about reincarnation, and I was very, like, how you would say it, like, preschool or, like, elementary about it. Like, I would just literally think, like, oh, well, like, some people could be reincarnated into, like, a bug or, like, a pet or, like, an animal, right? But like we are like way beyond that now. If you're like at the level that I'm learning right now, of knowledge, like we already know that that's like way like so like elementary. I don't know how to say it, but like there is not just reincarnation in that form. We're not just stuck to planet Earth. Planet Earth is not a prison planet like people are making you believe. And it's just like, why would Source create so much fear? Like, I don't understand why people would believe all these fear-based things. Like yes, there's low vibrational beings and low vibrational agendas and stuff like that, but like not everything is like that. And people really need to wake up to the fact that there is more love and more light in this reality than they can accept. Like they're so bogged down in 3D and low vibrations that they don't know how to get out, and they need to, and people need to help them get out. Like I don't know how else to tell people that everything is not bad. Like everything is mostly good, to be honest. Of course there needs to be like low vibrational things for balance. So yes, reincarnation is very real, and the reason we don't remember our past lives or our current parallel simultaneous lives is due to the fact we are two-stranded DNA. So the more we activate, unlock, and evolve our DNA strands, the more light or knowledge is allowed to come in, which allows several extrasensory abilities to manifest. And okay, we all astral travel in our dreams, even if you don't think we do. Our subconscious always protects us very well while we're dreaming, as well as our spirit guides, of course. And like our guardian angels or whoever else protects you, your ancestors. When we dream, we go to several levels of the astral plane. The astral plane consists of high levels and low levels, which is why if you're having bad dreams, you're going to be in the low levels of the astral plane. If you're having really good dreams, or honestly, I feel like if you're having really good dreams, you're obviously in the higher planes of the astral plane. But I feel like if you don't remember your dreams at all, then I most likely believe that you were having good dreams if you don't remember them. Okay, and also the zeta reticuli are branched off from the grays. So they are grays, but they are the good kind. They have empathy for humans and care for us, but the grays themselves, however, do not. They have no care for human life. The stories of being taken on board a craft and it being like a really terrible, really scary experience are mostly due to the grays. But in a past life regression, if someone had a good, loving experience on a ship, it is due to the zeta reticuli. Okay, the people controlling the world are not the people you think you know. They're usually the ones that no one knows of. They are literally in the shadows. The ones that you think control everything, they're actually just puppets for those who actually control. And there's more than I can tell you of situations where these controllers were the reason why so many things have happened that are inconceivable. I'm talking about, I'm not going to give the examples because I don't want to be targeted, but what I can say is if there's a lot of mysterious stuff going on that just does not add up, that just like, why did this person die like that? Why did this person die like randomly? How did this whole group of people die randomly? It is due to the controllers, and they are more in control of things than you can even think of. There are companies that I can mention that are that I would want to mention, but I'm not going to for reasons of not being targeted. Yeah, there's a lot of companies that are way more in control of things than you think, but you do have the power and the ability to create, I would say, like energetic wards, psychic force fields, or like protection to transmute those controlling energies. And it literally is like mind control. It literally is mind control, what these people are doing that are in control. But that's all I'm going to say, and I'm going to let you know that you do have the power and the ability to not be affected by them by consciously being aware that it exists, by consciously being aware that you have the ability and the power to block and counter their agenda, because you are more powerful than them. It is all about willpower, and it is all about your belief. Okay, some planets in the multiverse do not allow free will. Okay, not all multidimensional or extra-dimensional beings are evil. I don't know how many times I need to keep saying this. Not all multidimensional or extra-dimensional beings are evil. Please, please, please ask yourself if you really believe that, or if you're just believing what people are saying in the comments or wherever. Whenever you come across information in metaphysics, ask yourself, does this resonate with me? If the feeling is not in alignment with you, then just let it go. But just because everyone says that aliens are demons or fallen angels, don't be so quick to believe that, or like bad stuff about the Galactic Federation. But also don't believe they're all good, because just like humans, this is the best example I can think of. Just like humans, we all as a whole are a huge complex variety of beings, and just as the extra dimensionals are. Extra dimensionals could be like 70% love and light and 30%, bad intentions. Or, like the ratios will change and people will change and they will change like people do as well. And it's just like, stop judging them. That's like what I'm saying. Just stop being so quick to thinking that they're all evil, because that's so not true. That's completely not true. Can you imagine someone from another race of beings, like from another planet, looking at some of the things that we do and only being focused on the bad things that we've done, like war and, all this chaos and stuff and greed and all these like low vibrations? Could you imagine they say that we're all bad? You would know that that's not true, because we're not all bad. There's so many of us that are so good. But of course there's bad ones as well, because it's balance and it's part of the whole experience of creation. And so please just be aware of that and know that, I don't know how many times I have to keep saying it, not all aliens or extra dimensionals or interdimensionals or whatever you want to call them are evil or bad or low vibrational. Okay. Channeling is when you allow energies to flow through you, meaning like angelic beings or spirit guides or extra dimensional beings. And no, it's not possession, and no, it's not evil. If you're scared of it, then of course you're going to attract the wrong vibrational beings, because you have to maintain and hold the highest vibration when diving into things like this. And the same goes for your everyday life. Always maintain a really high vibration. Okay, so yes, we do live in a simulation, and we can control it more than you think, because mind and matter are energy. Your thoughts are energy, and physical things are energy, so you can control physical things with your thoughts, because they're all energy and everything is energy. It's just all vibrating at different speeds or frequencies, I guess you could say. You only think that something cannot be done because you believe that something cannot be done. If you try to test this by saying, okay, I know people are always going to be like, so like snarky and sarcastic after learning this. They're gonna be like, okay, then I'm a millionaire. I keep saying this all the time. Why am I not rich yet? I'm a millionaire, blah, blah, blah. Stuff like that. And it's just like so annoying. And let me explain. Okay. But that's the thing. If it's in your soul contract for this not to happen, then it won't happen. But of course, as well, you can consciously override your soul contracts if you didn't know that. Also, it could be for karmic reasons that money is not flowing into your life. It could be that lack of money is a belief you've held for a long time. So it's going to take a long time for it to come in, because the more resistance a thought has, the longer it's going to take for it to be made manifest and physical. But of course, vibrationally, it is already on your way to you, or it's already there. It just needs to be ready for you. I mean, you just need to be ready for it, actually. Okay. You are perfect just the way you are. There is no such thing as not being perfect. I do not believe that we have imperfections. This is just an excuse to make yourself feel bad, honestly, about yourself when you have no reason to be. Your perception about yourself must change. Okay, the Bermuda Triangle is a vortex that opens at certain times and transports you to a higher reality that is hard to leave from, but you wouldn't even want to leave it because it's so much better than our reality. Which is why I think there's never been a case where someone has come back from a vortex in the Bermuda Triangle. There is underground civilizations and inner earth civilizations deep down in the earth. If you don't believe me, that's your choice, but there is a lot of good books out there about this. And it even has its own name, the city, but I forgot what it's called at the top of my head. Okay, so I think this is an awesome tip for a lot of people who don't know how to do this, I guess. But I love to do this all the time, and it would be really awesome for you to incorporate it into your daily routine. So this is the way that I myself personally taught myself, to be honest, how to bless my own water and my own food. So the way I do it is like this. So with my water, like for every new like water bottle that I grab, or any new like container where my water is, I will grab it and say this to it mentally. I will say, I choose for this water to be infused with the highest vibration of love and light. That's it. For food, what I say is, this could go right before I eat it or while I'm making it, or you can do it both. So this is my, I guess you could say, blessing for food. For food, I say, thank you for blessing this food, God. I choose for any low vibrations in this food to be transmuted to the highest vibration of love and light, with no harm done to my body or vibrational field. Thank you. And that's it. And this is also another tip that I think is super important, and I think it would be really nice if people would incorporate it into their routine. So this is for when I'm in the shower, and I've been doing this prayer, I guess you would call it, for a while now. So this is what I say when I'm in the shower, as I'm literally like cleaning myself. So I'll say, with this psychic shower, I choose to remove and release all psychic and energetic and chakra blockages. I choose to remove and release all negativity and negative energy from my being. I choose to allow an infinite abundance of love and light. I choose to allow an infinite abundance of all kinds of freedom. I choose to allow an infinite abundance of peace, joy, comfort, and happiness. I choose to allow an infinite abundance of blessings and miracles into my life experience. I choose to allow an infinite abundance of good feeling thoughts, good feeling moments, and good feeling people into my life experience. And I choose to always be aligned to source, to happiness, to my inner being, to my higher self, and to always maintain that vibration. And that's it. There are an infinite number of parallel realities and universes. So whenever you make a choice, several other choices are also made, which branch off into their own realities and universes. Okay, time does not exist in the way that we think. Time only exists in the third dimension because we created it as humans. It's our only way of understanding how to measure moments. I honestly do not believe the Galactic Federation would announce themselves to the world so publicly, I know for a fact that they are more incognito about their presence. And I know there's no way they'd announce themselves like this because for a fact, humans are not yet ready as a collective. I mean, at least I believe. Okay, so my camera died, so I hope this is the right angle, still on the right lighting. Okay, if you have memories of missing time, you most likely had an extra dimensional experience. This could be anything from, I don't know, who knows what, to like on-board examinations on a ship, okay? When you remember something odd happening with a missing time memory, these are called screen memories. So when you do a past life regression and you look back through your subconscious, how the event really happened, you'll notice that there's layers that were created to conceal the true reality of what actually happened. The extra dimensionals either do this themselves or your own subconscious mind will do it to protect your psyche. Okay, I feel like I need to give an example. Let's say you have a missing time memory of driving down a freeway and there's like a huge owl that just appears in front of your car or in front of your window or whatever, and that's like the last thing you remember. Most likely when you go into the regression and you look at the scene at how it really happened through your subconscious mind, it's most likely not going to be an owl. It'll probably be like a spaceship or an entity, and that was just the overlay that it either they used or your subconscious used to protect your psyche, basically, from not remembering it that way that it actually happened. And it's all just to protect you, honestly. The onboard examinations that are taking place on spacecraft are due to the zetas that are helping humanity evolve genetically. They're helping us with medicine and DNA splicing to help us get rid of all disease to create the perfect humans, which is what the Essassani are, which are a mixture of greys and humans. And they're essentially us in the future as we would interpret it. Okay, this one's a very interesting one. If you don't understand why your life is so amazing and filled with like wealth and abundance, and you just live like an amazing life, it's probably because of a lot of different things. Could be good karma, it could be a soul contract thing, it could be a rest life in between your wheel of incarnation. And if you don't understand why your life is so terrible or you have so much lack in every area of your life, that could be due to bad karma that you've created in past lives or this life, and you're now experiencing the consequences of your past actions. Or you just chose a difficult life before incarnating so that you as a soul could grow, or so that others can see you as an example. So this one's an interesting topic. I'm surprised I even thought of it for this video, because it is something that I've been wanting to talk about, because it's I have very different opinions about it, which is why I've never really like talked about it. I wasn't really ready to talk about it, and you'll see why. I have it written down here. Okay. I've never mentioned this topic in my previous videos. This is going to be my first video that I mention this, which is the concept of twin flames and soulmates. So I honestly don't have enough information on this myself from like research, but I'm going to just channel it intuitively, what I believe about twin flames and soulmates. This is just what like I'm channeling through my own intuition. So for some time last year in 2020, I actually did not believe in soulmates or twin flames because of the fact that I was so ingrained in my belief that something like that could not exist, because of me learning that we are all one, or all one soul connected. We are all one energy, one and the same. But the more I think about it now, we're all sparks of source. We're all the same, but we're all different. The purpose of everything is to just experience. The purpose of everything is to create and to learn and to grow and to evolve. This gives us all a different soul pattern or soul blueprint, I guess you could say. So I now do believe more in this concept. I believe your twin flame would be someone that's so similar to you, and things are just so easy when you're with this person. That's how I would describe it. It's easy being with this person and comfortable. And it just feels so right. Your soulmate, on the other hand, I believe, is the person that will create growth in you and you in them. It's a mutual growth, which means lots of emotions, lots of challenges, lots of struggle, lots of pushback, and lots of resistance. But there's so much growth that happens between the two of you. So it's almost like you transmute that low vibration of those emotions. Also, your soulmate or twin flame may not be in this physical plane in this current incarnation of yours. So you may be a human here on Earth, and your soulmate or twin flame exists in another dimension or planet somewhere out there, but that doesn't mean you don't see them in the astral plane when you're either dreaming, sleeping, or like thinking deeply or in a meditative state. This is just what I intuitively believe at the moment on soulmates and twin flames. Okay, I also now believe that one aspect of our purpose here on Earth is to master our emotions. Learn to not be so quick to react. Think before reacting. So many people are on autopilot and just react insanely. Take time to be in control of your emotions and your vibrations more diligently. I just remembered I have the fan on, so I hope my audio is not bad. Okay, I had to turn it off because I hope it's not going to ruin the audio, because it's ruined my audio before. Where did I leave off? Okay, so think before reacting. So far, I've been following this. I've just been so like 0 point energy, neutral to everything, to be honest, especially since the new year started. I've been so neutral. Like, it's amazing being in that neutral space and not being towards this end or this end of the spectrum, literally being above it. And it's basically, I mean, it's so important to think before you react. So many people nowadays and all the time are on autopilot, and they just react, I guess, insanely. Take time to be in control of your mind, of your emotions, and your vibrations more diligently. And I think this message also is super important on top of everything else that I just mentioned in this video. If you don't believe you have a purpose, this is simply not true. Your purpose in life could be to just breathe. Like, seriously. You could be a light warrior in the astral plane and live such a mundane, simple life and not even be conscious of how much value you're adding to the non-physical planes. You could also be an anchor for higher energies to come into the earth, yet you'll be living your daily life thinking you have no purpose, you're too nice, people step all over you, and little do you know the bigger picture. Which is why I say to please stop basing your purpose off of the physical world. We are all multidimensional beings and are constantly simultaneously working multidimensionally, not just in the physical. Your purpose could be in the non-physical while you're in a physical incarnation. This could also be teaching you patience and growth at the same time your non-physical purpose is happening. So for now, honestly, this is all the information I have that I can remember at the top of my head. Just remember, question everything, use your discernment. If something does not feel right, then it's most likely not in your best interest to be around or to know of, and you should steer away from it. And goodbye for now, and love and light to everyone, especially if you're watching this. Thank you so much.